You guessed it, it's Chunky time. Grab 2 balls of Chunky and get ready to make the trendiest, cutest, chunkiest tote bag. First things first, unravel your 2 balls until that chunky thread is spaghettied all over the place. Okay, maybe a little cleaner than that. That's good. Connect your 2 chunkies by tying together 2 endpoints. Simply push down that fluff and tie a knot. Then find one endpoint. This is your tail. The rest of your chunky we call running yarn. You know this. Make a loop by flipping that running yarn over onto itself like this. Reach your hand through your loop, grab the running yarn, and pull it through. Pull on the running yarn and the tail to tighten and adjust so you've got a loop about the length of your finger. That is your slip knot, the starting point of the chunky magic to come. Nice. Now reach those fingers through the slip knot loop, grab the running yarn, and pull it through from underneath until you have another loop of the same size. Repeat that step, reaching through each loop, pulling the running yarn through from underneath until you've created 8 loops. And remember, keep your loops the same size, okay? This chain of chunky thread is the base of your bag. So if you want a smaller bag, you can try stopping at 6 or 7 loops. Do your thing or stick with me. Remember that either way, you can undo your chunky and start again whenever you want. Kind of like you see me doing here, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to our base. Eight loops, see? Once you have that, rotate this chain so it's parallel with your running yarn. Then, reach through that last loop and pull the running yarn through from underneath to create a new loop. Repeat with each of the hills on your chain until you've got 8 new loops. These are the hills. Those 8 new loops, they made your first row. Rotate this chunky mess around again so your running yarn is parallel above the chain. Then, do the same thing. Pull the running yarn through each hill until you've got 8 loops. Rinse, rotate, repeat. Okay, maybe don't rinse, but definitely rotate and repeat, creating another row by pulling the running yarn through each loop. Just don't go sleepy on your chunky thread. Keep those loops snug and consistent and don't leave any loops behind. So, do you see where this is going yet? We're building the walls of our bag with these new rows. After a few rows on each side, you can start folding your chunky from that base like this to make sure you're creating a bag and not, I don't know, something else. But don't get distracted, we're still pulling the running yarn through each loop to build this bag up. Now, see how my chunky thread makes this horizontal pattern? Cool, sure, but if you want your stitches vertical like I do, just flip your bag inside out before you keep making new rows. Fits her up and refold. That rowed tail is now on the inside of the bag and the stitches on the outside are vertical. Cute. Back to it. Pull the running yarn from behind your loops through your loops on both sides of the bag. Do this until your bag is as tall or as short as you want it. You're the boss bitch here. For me, I'm making 9 rows on each side. When you're happy with the size of your bag, finish your final row and stop your looping. Then get ready to make a handle. Oop, spoiler alert, it will still require looping. whichever side of your bag you've left off with your running yarn, grab that running yarn and twist it on top of itself to make a loop. Then, that's right, reach through that loop, grab the running yarn, and pull it through to create a new loop. Repeat, reaching through that loop and pulling the running yarn through again. We're making a chain, baby. Simply pulling the running yarn through each new loop just like you did before. Easy peasy. Stop when you're satisfied with your handle or when you have at least 4 times the width of your bag left in running yarn. When your handle is complete, it's time to finish off this sweet-ass bag and cast off. Grab that last loop of your handle and the closest loop on your bag. Reach your fingers through both loops and pull the running yarn through from left to right or away from the other loops on your bag. Once you pull the running yarn through, you're left with 1 loop. Then, repeat with the new loop and the next loop over. Grab the 2, pull the running yarn through. Repeat all the way around your bag. If you can't tell from watching my little hands struggle, it ain't easy getting this chunky thread through small loops, but we can do it. When you reach the end and have 1 loop left, pull the running yarn all the way through. Then, flip that bag over to reveal the start of your chain and connect the 2 sides by pulling your running yarn all the way through that first loop. Cut off excess chunky like it's a Coziest and hide your running yarn by securing it in the loops inside your bag. All that's left to do now is admire your beautiful creation and then fill her with all of your shit. Remember, you can throw this in the washing machine when she needs a rinse, and when she goes out of style, you can undo and make something new. Till next time, chunky friend, hope you enjoyed taking the yawn out of yarn.